For most people on TLC's My 600 Pound Life, they are able to follow the diet given to them by Dr. Now, and eventually complete weight loss surgery to turn their life around. However, some people, I guess, just are not up for the journey and end up cheating along the way. Well, Dr. Now definitely does not take this lightly with his patients, as he makes sure to track their progress every few weeks. Today, we take a look at some of my 600 Pound Life patients who were caught cheating. Be sure to watch this entire video, as you won't want to miss out on these crazy guests. Also, leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel to never miss a single upload. That being said, let's get right into it. Octavia. After he ran a few tests on Octavia, Dr. Now decided to keep her in the hospital for a while. His hopes were to reduce her weight, as she was a whopping 692 pounds. Hopefully, she would eventually be able to stand up on her own. After 2 months of being in the hospital and eating just 1,200 calories per day, Octavia was surprisingly able to lose 108 pounds. Dr. Now decided to dispatch Octavia from the hospital and gave her the goal of losing 30 more pounds before the weight loss surgery would begin. However, Octavia definitely did not take this advice. By her next appointment, she weighed an extra 62 pounds. Later on in her episode, after some tension between Octavia and one of her friends, they both decide they need a cheat day. So in turn, they ordered a bunch of Popeye's fried chicken. Well, things went downhill after this. Octavia started to skip her therapy appointments, and when she finally comes back for another weigh-in, she puts on an extra 38 pounds. It's frustrating because she did so well for the first couple of months, and in just 2 months later, she had gained all that weight back. Well, Dr. Now caught on to this, and in fact, figured out she had been cheating. I don't understand why these people cheat on a weight loss diet. I mean, it's for their greater good, and could save their lives. But I guess some people just aren't up for the challenge, and Octavia sure wasn't. Paula. When Paula went to the gym for her very first attempt at working out, she had a very tough time. It was so tough that she took it upon herself to ruin any sort of progress she had just made with that workout by stopping at a drive-thru on the way home to get herself a burrito. And hey, there's nothing wrong with getting an occasional burrito. I mean, they're delicious. But when you're on a reality TV show and your weight is on the line, it just really is not a good decision. Especially considering she went out of her way to work out on her own. To throw all this down the drain by eating a fattening burrito is pretty crazy to me. Couldn't she have gotten a salad at least? That seems like it would be a much healthier option in the situation at hand. Erica. Just like every patient on my 600 Pound Life, Erica's first task was to start her diet and also to lose some weight. She had to do this in order to get approved for her weight loss surgery. According to Dr. Now, she was supposed to be eating a low-carb, high-protein diet. Alongside this, Erica was advised to limit herself to under 1,200 calories per day, which is certainly pretty easy. But things start to fall apart when the nutritionist comes back to check on Erica and what she is eating, and sees a bunch of high-calorie, high-carb junk food inside her fridge. And what's really irritating about this one is that instead of Erica taking responsibility for her cheating, she gets annoyed with the nutritionist for supposedly wasting precious food when she throws the junk food out. I mean, I'd expect Erica to be happy that she was throwing out the bad food, but I guessed wrong. Things don't get much better after Erica explains to the nutritionist that she is wasting time because Erica intends to just reorder all the food she had thrown out. Yes, you heard that right. She is reordering all the junk food she had been eating. James King. When he arrived on the show, James King weighed in at a whopping 790 pounds. At the time, he was actually the heaviest person to ever be featured on the show. He also had a severe case of cellulitis, a painful skin infection. Additionally, King's family had made some huge sacrifices for him, including his daughter dropping out of school to care for him, and his father refinancing his home to get him to Houston. Now, James was someone who was very delusional about his current state, and it didn't really help out that his wife supported this from James. In fact, his wife would bring James high-calorie foods that he requested while he was in the hospital with Dr. Now for his weight loss plan. She was sneaking the food in behind Dr. Now's back. While he was in the hospital, James kept gaining weight very, very fast. Instead of losing weight, King actually weighed in at 840 pounds. Dr. Now stepped in as he knew what was going on, and even told James and his wife that he knew she was sneaking in food for him while James was in the hospital bed. Of course, James tried to play this off and even cussed out Dr. Now, stating that he had no idea why he was gaining so much weight. Eventually, Dr. Now told him to leave if he wasn't willing to adhere to the program. Well, in his follow-up episode, things had not improved. Just recently, about a month ago, James King unfortunately passed away, and while an exact cause of death wasn't revealed, King had a history of health issues, which may have contributed to his passing, and we can surely say that King's weight gains were not helpful in his case at all. While it is definitely a sad loss, we can't say that James was the nicest and most compromising guest on the show, as he was rude as could be. Megan. Despite failing both her first and second weight loss goals, Dr. Now sees that her progress is improving, even if it is a little bit slow. So at the second follow-up, Dr. Now admits Megan into the program and encourages her to move to Houston. While this wasn't the full approval for surgery, you'd think this would be the motivation Megan needed to keep up her progress and actually hit her next goal. However, Megan gets very tempted to cheat when she is seen hanging out with her dad. Well, apparently their relationship was always revolved around, you can guess, food. Whatever that means. So what do? The two resort to ordering a bunch of pizza to bond over. To be honest, this most likely was not the first time Megan cheated, as she doesn't meet her third weight loss goal at all. Nicole Lewis. At just 23 years of age, Nicole Lewis already weighed an unbelievable 680 pounds. She claims that she was way too big to even take care of her own kids, despite her efforts to try and lose weight. There was even a point where she was hosed down by her husband to bathe. That's how you know things were not going well. Although she tried, Nicole only got bigger. It was time to see Dr. Now. It had gotten to the point where she not only feared for her life, but feared for her kids growing up around her. When she first arrived on the show, Nicole had trouble walking around. She had to rely on her own mother and 2 kids in order to get anywhere. She was even too big to fit through the bathroom door in her house and had to use a portable toilet in her own room. But if that's not enough to motivate one to stop eating and gaining weight, she was caught eating a Big Mac and fries on her way to Houston to see Dr. Now. Dr. Now tried to tell her to stop and put Nicole on a very strict diet, hoping to help her lose 30 pounds for surgery. Well, Nicole definitely struggled. Amidst her and her husband's struggles to find a new job during her diet, the two resorted to eating cheeseburgers to help cope with their feelings. Well, things continued to go downhill here, and it's safe to say that this contestant did not try at all. SNUCK. SNUCK gained the reputation of being one of the most delusional patients to have ever appeared on TLC's My 600 Pound Life. Before getting her surgery approved, she was put on a standard low-calorie diet to lose some weight while in the hospital. Well, unfortunately for SNUCK, hospital staff had caught her sneaking pizza, burgers, and other delicious but forbidden fast food, despite her sneaky plan of hiding the trash in another patient's garbage bin. Not only was she lying to herself, but also to the doctors, which made her one of the craziest people on the show. Of course, when she is encountered about it, SNUCK is full of excuses. She tries to claim that it was actually her husband, Freddie, who was eating all the food. So why in the world would he be throwing the wrappers in another patient's trash can? That makes no sense. It also didn't add up at all, considering SNUCK hadn't lost any weight for her first check-in. Instead, she had incredibly gained 50 pounds since she first appeared on the show. And despite Dr. Now trying to nicely explain why this behavior was wrong, SNUCK refuses to make the connection that she is eating more than she should, and that's why she hasn't lost any weight. Well, in the end, SNUCK actually ended up quitting the show. Ironically, in April of 2018, SNUCK decided to start a GoFundMe for $50,000 to support her cause. Well, SNUCK, we really hope that $50,000 didn't go towards junk food.